Hello and welcome to the Restoration Gospel Television. It's your program, One on One with Will's Amor Hour. We are beaming live from Bamenda. Today we want to talk counseling. Yes, counseling is broad. Counseling has many aspects, and I don't know, I'll be finding out for myself if I am a counselor or not. Okay, join me. Let's welcome our guest on the program, who is a professional counselor. She is Siri Marie Louise. You're welcome, Marie Louise.
Thank you.
Did I get that pronunciation, Siri, very
Yes,
well?
Siri, yes.
Okay, today we are talking counseling. Okay, you are a counselor.
Yes.
And first things first, when we say counseling, whether marital, guardians counseling, whatsoever, what should come to the mind? Or who is a counselor? Or what is counseling? Let me put it that way. What is counseling all about?
Okay. Let me start from who a counselor is.
Okay.
A counselor is someone who has been trained, professionally trained in that domain. Not everybody actually is a counselor. So generally, when we talk about counseling, it's helping someone to have a better view of who he is,
Okay.
or of who he or she is. That you help somebody to have a better view of it might be a challenge in that person's life.
Counselor is someone who is well trained, professionally trained. Okay, that's fine. Okay, counseling in itself seems to be very broad.
Yes.
And might be you want to tell us what are the different aspects of counseling?
We have, it is called
What are the different aspects of counseling?
we have premarital counseling. We have, which is a specialty on its own.
Okay.
We have marital counseling.
Okay.
It is called marriage enrichment counseling, though it is commonly known as marital counseling.
I think I love this name. Marriage
enrichment
counseling.
That's
Okay.
it's a case where two people are married,
Yeah.
and then they are going to seek counsel.
Okay.
And before I go ahead, I just want us to understand that counseling here is different from advice. So many people
Good.
think that counseling is advice.
You want to say that loudly. Counseling
is
is
different from advice. Yes.
Okay.
Advice is suggested solutions to your problems.
Okay.
For example, I have a challenge and then I come to see the pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tells me that, sister, don't you think you can do this way, or this is better? Or as
yeah.
a child of God, this is what you should do. He is suggesting solutions to the challenge that I have. That is advice.
Okay.
But counseling helps you to know yourself better.
Okay.
And even be able to identify the challenge by yourself.
Okay.
And the counselor now just helps. The counselor acts as a guide to help you to come up with challenges.
Mm-hmm.
It is believed that every human being has abilities.
That's right.
So before any challenge comes to you, obviously you have the ability to overcome it.
Okay.
God will not give you what is above you.
Okay, we stopped at marital enrichment counseling. Okay.
Yeah, so we have marriage enrichment counseling. We have clinical counseling.
Okay.
Yes, we have guidance counseling.
Okay.
Yes, so there are so many different aspects of counseling.
Okay, what are some of the wrong conceptions about counseling? I think you just counseled me now to know that counseling is different from advice.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
So what are some of the wrong conceptions, some myths about?
One of the wrong conceptions of counseling is that a counselor will help you to solve your problems. So many people think that if they go to see a counselor, the counselor will help them, give them solutions. Whereas it is not true. A counselor will only guide you to come up with the solutions which you have within you that you have not seen. That means he makes you have a better picture of what is going on around you.
Whether to be applied or not is you,
Yes,
not the
it is
counselor.
you, not the counselor.
Okay.
It is client-centered.
That's right. Okay.
So another wrong conception of counseling is that counseling is for those who have problems. So we go to seek a counselor only when there is a very severe challenge that we cannot overcome again. But here, counseling can also help as guidance. It helps to guide you. Take for instance, career counselors. You don't go to see a career counselor after you have gone to the university and studied the wrong courses and then come out
back.
now and you are looking for a job. Then you are confused before you go to see a career counselor. Rather, you go to see a career counselor before you are able to choose the kind of career path that you want. So counseling helps to guide. You don't wait until when there is a serious problem. That's a wrong conception about counseling. And so many, another wrong conception about counseling is that people think that when they go to see a counselor, they will give you the solution now. That's an immediate solution.
That one is huge.
Yeah, so it takes a lot of time depending on the person and depending on the challenge. And you must not go to see a counselor only when there is a problem.
Okay.
To add to that, counselors don't only solve, they prevent.
They prevent.
Yes, they prevent. So there is the aspect where you can be like, let's say, cases of addiction.
Yeah.
Yes, those are they bring solutions. They help you bring solutions to those ones. But you can also counsel, that's guide someone not to enter into
that.
Yes, get into addiction.
For you just tuning in, you're logged on to the Restoration Gospel Television, and it's your regular program, One-on-One with Wills Amo Hour. With me on set today is our guest, Siri Marie Louise, and we are talking about counseling. Now, back to you, Marie. What are some of the criteria in selecting, in choosing, in lobbying, in getting a good counselor? Definitely some basic qualities.
Okay, one of the the criteria of getting a good counselor is that this counselor must be more mature and more knowledgeable in whatever you want to achieve. You shouldn't go to a counselor who is less knowledgeable than what you're seeking for. So the counselor should be more mature, and then the counselor should be trained. The counselor should be trained. It is true that our fathers can give us counseling, like let's say those that are older than us, maybe through their experiences and all that. Yes, that's the reason why I say a counselor must be more knowledgeable.
Okay, because
than you.
I personally wanted to find out from you if counseling is only experience based. If it's only experience based for those who are believers, they want to tell you the place of the Holy Spirit in helping to counsel. So, but I think from what you're letting us understand is the fact that it really would be a bit challenging for a 2-year-old couple to counsel a 20-year-old couple, for example. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, it depends. If it is a trained professional counselor.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so the aspect of knowledgeable.
Yes,
being knowledgeable.
Yes.
Okay.
In that domain, the counselor is more knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
in terms of maturity and longevity in marriage, he might not be able to meet up. But in terms of knowledge, he might be more knowledgeable.
Okay, and might be one other thing. How do I benefit from a counselor? Or better still, how do I make the good of a counselor?
One of the very most important things on how to benefit from a counselor is that for that is change. Before you get to a counselor, obviously there is a change you are expecting. Yes. So, but I want to say change here begins with the willingness to change. So if you are going to a counselor and thinking that the counselor will solve your problems, you're already failing before going. So one way to benefit from a counselor is to be willing to go along with a counselor.
Okay.
Another way is to be open. Some people would think that the counselor cannot know me. No, the counselor will only know you to the extent to which you are open to the counselor.
That's right.
So if you want to benefit from counseling services, you must first of all be willing to change, because that is where the change starts from. Secondly, you should be willing to be open to the counselor for both of you to work together.
Marie, what can you say about or to those counselors who bite and blow? The two, in case of the marital enrichment counseling, right?
Yes.
These two couples come before you. You are seemingly giving them candid counsel, but you go behind and you're instigating one partner. Do you think there are some who do like that? And if yes, what can be your advice?
Well, if there are some, I know there are people who do that, but I want to say it's unethical.
Okay.
Every profession has ethical rules. They have boundaries surrounding it or guiding it. It is unethical for you to end a session with a client and then go back again. And then when it comes to marriage enrichment counseling or marital counseling, when it comes to that, we should note here that it is mostly done with both parties present. As a professional, you don't do marriage counseling or marital counseling with one person. That can be done for premarital counseling. It is true that once in a while, maybe you want to work out something, because when you come, one of the first things you do is assessment.
That's right.
The challenge might not be coming back from the marriage. The challenge might be coming from a personality disorder, maybe on one party. So your assessment now is going to determine. If you see that your assessment is that the main, because one of the things we seek to solve as counselors is not to solve presenting issues. You go for the core.
The core.
Yes, you
Okay.
look for the core problem. So sometimes the marital problems might just be presenting issues. So but when you discover now that it is just a presenting issue, you try to solve the problem. If it's in case from one party, then you work now with the party. But if the problem is a marital problem and you have to help the counselor,
Yeah.
help the clients, that's both of them. You work with them both.
Both.
You don't talk with them in front and then go behind.